St. Petersburg, Florida, Eddie Stanky looks over his 1952 Cardinals. The fiery manager, whose playing helped spark the Giants to last year's pennant, puts his pitchers, starting with Harry the Cat Brackeen, through their paces. Harry won 8 last year. Right-hander George Munger, another Card regular, limbers up, while a promising rookie, Wilmer Mizell, works out the arm that won 16 games for Houston last year. Stan the Man Musial, who led the league with a 355 average, swings, and Eddie Stanky plays cameraman, while another St. Louis slugger, Enos Country Slaughter, belts into a double play as the Gas House Gang readies for action. In Burbank, California, the Browns have a new manager, too, veteran Rogers Hornsby, one of the game's all-time heroes. With the Raja, who once managed Grover Cleveland Alexander, Mrs. Alexander, widow of the great ball player of yesterday, autographs a ball for Ronald Reagan, who will play Alexander in the forthcoming Warner Brothers picture, The Winning Team. Pitching strength may hoist the cellar-dwelling Browns up this year, and Ned Garver, 20-game winner last year, is heavily counted on. Leroy Sancho Page, who claims he's only 43, not counting winners, looks for a good year. Shortstop Monty Marion is another veteran around whom Hornsby is building a new team. Pitcher Kane serves one to Manuel Rivera. The revamped Brownies build for the future. Manager Red Rolfe outlines the plans for spring training as the Tigers get started in Lakeland, Florida. The 1952 roster contains only a handful of new names. The emphasis will be on the men who brought Detroit through the season last year. Here are Tiger vets Callaway and Wirtz, and newcomers Mapes, Atkins, and Taylor. For the outfield, there are regulars Wirtz, Evers, Mullen, and Groth. Behind the plate, Ginsberg, House, Batts, and Swift. Now the Detroit pitching staff heads into action. Taking the practice mound first is Fred Hutchinson, who last year won 10, lost 10. Here's Hal Newhouser with a 6-6 record last year. Art Hudeman returns from Army service to rejoin the Tigers. Virgil Trucks hopes to star again as the Tigers aim for 52. Mass calisthenics work out winter kinks as the Reds go into spring training in Tampa, Florida, with an eye on climbing into First Division this year. Manager Luke Sewell prepares his men for the heavy grind ahead. Newcomers to the squad get some inside tips on hurling. Floyd Bevins shows the knuckleball. He's the former Yankee who came within one pitch of a series no-hitter. Ken Raffensperger talks over the forkball with Frank Hiller, formerly of Chicago. Here goes Ewell Blackwell into action. He was a Reds workhorse last season. Here are catchers Homer Howell, Andy Semenick, recently acquired from Philadelphia, and Hobart Landreth. Bevins tosses and Semenick connects for a grounder that's swept up by Walter Post, one-time pitcher now in the outfield. Stepping into the cage next are Adcock and Edwards as the Reds warm up for the coming season. At Clearwater, Florida, the Fighting Phillies come tearing out for spring practice. Manager Eddie Sawyer, hoping to do better than last year's 5th place, eyes his pitching crew, which led the league in shutouts in 51. Big Jim Constanti, with 4 wins to 11 losses, looks for a better year, while Robin Roberts, who won 21 last year, says he's in top form again. Outfielders Stan Holmig, Richie Ashburn, Del Ennis, Jack Mayo, Tommy Brown, Mel Clark, Bill Nicholson, and Danny Shell with catcher Smokey Burgess are out for batting practice. And there's left-handed Richie Ashburn, 344, slamming one. Del Ennis knocked one to Connie Ryan, who feeds it to Granny Hanmer. Young Stan Holmig is another big hope as the Phils drill for 52. Winter's still official back home, but in sunny San Bernardino, California, the Pittsburgh Pirates get the jump on spring as manager Billy Meyer gets training underway. Pittsburgh VP Harry L. Crosby tells Billy he's dropped by to watch the pitchers on limber for the season ahead. Here's Bill Worley with an 8-6 record last year. Ted Wilkes, who joined up in mid-season, and Murray Dixon with a 2016 score. Here are the catchers who'll be on the receiving end of the Pittsburgh batteries. Having spotted the pitchers, Vice President Bing takes over at bat, but says he'll step aside in favor of heavy hitter Clyde McCullough, who batted .297 last season. Frank Thomas steps into the cage, followed by the pride of Forbes Field, Ralph Kiner, who's out to retain his title as home run king, as the Pirates aim for a flag in 52.